Hello there, my name's Feldrin and I thought I'd make a quick video on the free flight mode mod because I regularly get questions about camera angles in Payday 2 and what mod I use for that. But before we get to the technical stuff, let me first just show you some of the hidden stuff and behind the scenes mechanics you can find while flying around with the mod. For example, a lot of heists come with what I've come to call the interdimensional cop car. Somewhere, perhaps just simply in a side alley, or hidden deep underground, you'll often find a cop car, just waiting, biding its time, ready to spring in action the moment you fuck up. Some of them even go to extreme lengths and compress multiple cop cars into the same space, sort of quantum entangled interdimensional cop cars. Another thing you'll often find is never-ending teleporting traffic. Whenever you see traffic in the distance, this is probably what is actually happening. Nobody ever gets anywhere. Civilians are stuck in an eternal traffic hell, doomed to repeat the same movement for eternity. It's actually quite a neat solution to filling up some background scenery. And then there's more mundane hidden stuff that you've probably already seen somewhere else, like overlay designations or notes on cook-off, as well as over the safe house. Multiple maps also have hidden loot that you can't actually pick up because, well, you can't ever actually reach those spots, like 2 saves deep underground on the jewelry and Ukrainian heist, or a bunch of loot on top of the diamond store. Finally, there's also a bunch of closed-off passageways in the safe house that really don't seem to go anywhere, as well as another unreachable room that looks a lot like it was intended to serve as a camera tutorial or something similar. Alright, so what the free flight mode mod basically does is enable a no-clip free flying camera mode. It only works in offline mode though, and to be honest, for good reasons. It's got a few cheaty elements to it. Once you're in-game, you press F9 to activate, and then you can fly pretty much anywhere you want through every obstacle. In the meantime, your body, or rather your disembodied arms and weapon, stick around at the spot you were standing at, but the body parts you leave behind still take damage, and you can still get shot, killed, cloaked, tasered and dozed. So watch out. If you want to shoot an action scene, try to hide behind some cover first. All of the flashes from hits also makes for bad footage anyway. Having some AI bots around also helps to distract enemies, especially because, and this is a bit of a fuck up, when you're flying around the enemy AI gets very confused when you're all on your own and seems to run to certain waypoints or just stand still because it seems to think it can't reach the player. That's just something you'll have to learn to live with and work around when you're shooting some scenes. You get 4 options to tweak your camera and they're all really obvious. You can toggle between them by pressing F, and scrolling the mouse wheel up or down increases or decreases the settings. You move around just like usual with WASD, and the move speed option controls how fast you move around. If you want to use the mod as a camera, you'll probably stick to very low numbers. Anything else just moves around way too quickly. Same goes for the second option, turn speed, which controls the rate at which you turn the camera with your mouse. Usually I also flip that to the lowest setting cause there's no reason why I'd want to twirl the camera around like a madman. Finally, there's a pretty fun and more complex option, namely game speed or game timer. At the default value of 1 nothing changes, but if you scroll to a lower value the whole game slows down dramatically, or speeds up if you use a higher value. This can be really useful if you're looking for that slow, long, dramatic shot. At the end there's also an FOV option, but it doesn't go higher than 75 even though the in-game options go higher than that, and all it really does is sort of zoom in. I've hardly ever used it, so there's not much I can say about that. But there are also a few less savory things that the mod enables. Obviously you can use it to scout ahead to find secrets, but you can also use it to discover where the saves and enemies on the nightclub heist are, for example. Second, and I found out about this by accident, the game speed option sticks around and also works in the menus, which means that when you go and pick a new heist, then you'll find that changing the game speed also changes the rate at which new heists appear and disappear. If you think any of that goes too far, then well, just use the mod responsibly and keep it as a camera. When you use the free flight mode mod, it automatically disables most of your HUD, but some HUD items that, for example, come from mods stick around, and that's rather annoying. If you're doing any kind of recording, you'll quickly find that constantly enabling and disabling the HUD through the menus is a pretty huge chore. So you might also want to install a tiny mod that enables you to bind a key to toggle your HUD. It's a lot more convenient. I've re-uploaded the free flight mode mod and the Hud Toggle snippet to lastbullet.net, where I originally got them from before they disappeared when the whole site went dead for a while. There should be links in the description below and an explanation on how to install over at Lastbullet. Both mods are compatible with the BLT Lua hook, so all you'd really need to do is to unzip them and put them in the correct mods folder anyway. That shouldn't be too difficult. After you install them, don't forget to activate the mods though by going to Options, then Lua Mods, otherwise they obviously won't work. Finally, neither the free flight mode mod nor the Hud Toggle mod were made by me. For the free flight mode mod, credit goes to someone called Shakata, and the Hud Toggle seems to have been made by Knife Kitty. Now that I'm doing credits anyway, the first song was Hard Time, the second Mayhem Dressed in a Suit, both obviously from Payday 2, both composed by Simon Viklund as well as Gustaf Grefberg. Alright, that's it, now I'm shutting up. Thank you for watching.